intentions, visualizations, manifestations. I'm going to turn on my screen share so that we can go through a PowerPoint. Waiting for Google to catch up here. Excellent. So I think it's going to flip around and we'll be ready to go. Okay. Okay, so today this is about intentions, vision boards, and manifestation, right? So it's something that we all do from time to time is, you know, everyone has set intentions, everyone has set intentions that works, everyone has set intentions that have not worked. And a second. Okay, so today what you're going to learn is we're going to talk about tools and techniques. Looks like I misspelled techniques. I did this quickly. And to make your intentions, visualizations, and manifestations more effective. Again, another typo. Wow. So we're also going to talk about why it doesn't work sometimes and what we can do to troubleshoot and to make these tools and techniques more effective. I'm going to give you a 3-step recipe for manifestation and a modern tool to help you take action. So a little bit about me. I've been in the yoga and healing arts world for many, many years, over 15 years now. I've been studying and investing, and prosperity consciousness for about 10 years as well. And I'm always looking for effective tools and manifestation for personal development. I'm a mom of 2 kids. My kids are a little bit bigger now. This is me with my kids at breakfast doing a gratitude journal. It's one of the little practices that I do. So why do we set intentions? Intentions create our reality, essentially. As human beings, it's sort of like how we're driving the car of our life. We can consciously point our life in a direction, or we can just sort of allow our life to be taken in a direction. And whether we're aware of it or not, our thoughts are always guiding us in a direction. So why not sort of sharpen the tools of what we want and start to consciously choose instead of just, you know, allowing things to happen on a haphazard or coincidence, right? We can actually have a little more power than we realize in our life with intentions. So we all set intentions. It's great, it's amazing when they manifest. We've all had those experiences at some time in our life, and can be really frustrating when they don't work. And again, like everybody has had both of those experiences, whether they've worked or they've not worked. So we're going to talk about why they work, why they don't work, and ways to sort of sharpen our tools, right? Types of intentions that we have, sort of the basic one that a lot of people have done at some point in their life is writing it down. This can be like a written list of goals. It can also be sort of a written manifesto of this is what I want to create. We've done it through journaling and diary writing. Writing it down can be really, really effective. It sort of gets it out of our own psyche and onto paper. The decree is when we claim it, when we speak it, right? So sometimes we've said things of like, I'm going to make this happen, and we're very definitive about it, and we speak it into existence. So that's the decree. And another way that people have bring intentions and manifestation into the world is through vision boards, right? You hear a lot about people create in success groups creating vision boards together. The thing with vision boards is if you're a visual person, can probably be more effective, right? We all have different, sometimes we're more kinesthetic, sometimes we're more auditory. And if we're a visual person, like I personally am a visual person, so the vision board is really effective for me. It allows us to sort of plant those images in our mind, and it helps us to bridge the gap between something that is not yet real and to making it real. So the vision boards can be really, really effective. A tip or a clue with that is to make them colorful and full of images. You know, we can also use powerful words on the boards. Some people have taken the vision boards, which works really well, and put them up on a bulletin board in our offices. You can also use it as sort of a home page on your computer when you boot up your computer, or on your phone as a photograph. That also works really, really well. A fourth type of way that people use intentions and set intentions and manifestations is using audio or making a little film. You can even talk about what we want to create. iPhones are great for this. You know, you just turn on the video or you turn on an audio record and you just talk about what it is you want to create. So those are four ways. And again, you want to think about, there's going to be one way that has a little more juice for you. So you want to play around with them. And if you're having trouble, maybe one way, one technique, maybe the vision board is more effective, or maybe you're someone who really is, you know, good at speaking it into existence. So, you know, you want to find out what your sweet spot is with this. And it's going to be a little bit different for everybody, and sometimes it's a combination of both of them. And what to do when it doesn't work. So if we're having trouble making it come into reality, sometimes we have to really re-examine what our intention is. Because when it's not working, that means there's a block somewhere in our belief about it. Are we being clear about what we want, or are we setting a very vague goal? And does that goal light our fire? Does that light us up? And what's the feeling that we get behind when we're setting this intention or goal? Does it excite us, or does it scare us? So you want to kind of look for clues around when you're setting your intention or when you're setting your goal. How do you feel about what you're putting down on paper? How do you feel about what you're creating on your vision board? If you feel a little nervous or scared about it, there could be you might need to re-examine, is this what you really, really want? And again, if our manifestations aren't happening, there's a couple things. One could be universal timing, right? It's just not the right time. It takes longer than we realize to make something happen. Or we have some blocks that we need to look at. And usually the blocks are from within ourselves. It's blocks about our belief system of what's possible. And again, we need to examine how we feel about the outcome. And are we really in our truth by setting this intention, by setting this goal? I say be careful what you ask for, right? Because we are more powerful than we give ourselves credit for. And you can even look back at your own life. There are points and times in your life when you've made something happen. We all have made things happen. So you want to look back at those times when you've made things happen, either in a good way or a bad way, and say, what did I do to bring that into reality? You know, what were my feelings around that? What were my thoughts around that? And this is really, setting goals and intentions is a really great exercise in self-inquiry and in getting to know yourself, right? It gives us a chance to start to explore some of the ways that we don't move forward, because that's an opportunity for not being rough on ourselves or, you know, kind of pushing ourselves, but actually being loving and saying, maybe I need to give myself more time, or maybe I need to really reevaluate what my values are around this, and really what is my truth on this. So those are, you know, all good stuff. So if things aren't coming into reality for you, is a really great opportunity to start to sit down with yourself and get more clear. And we can always get more clear. Because you'll notice when you are clear, things can happen very, very, very quickly. And the more clear you are, the quicker things happen. And things get messy. So sometimes we ask for something. They say, you know, in the Bible it says, ask and you shall receive, right? And we've all asked for things and like, oops, sometimes we get it. Or sometimes we ask for things and it seems like the opposite comes true, right? All of a sudden things start to fall apart and seems to go in the opposite direction. And this is one of the clues that we might have some blocks. And I had a spiritual teacher who once described it, and I think this is a really great description, is that Sometimes if we set an intention, the universe steps in and says, oh, you want to make this happen, so now you need to look at this in your life, and you need to clean this up and this up and this up first before I can bring this to you. So the universe is actually showing you the blocks by making things look a little messy, is one way of looking at it. So when you're stepping in the direction of your goals and your visions, if things are getting messy, it's literally an opportunity to evaluate what is in your way and how you are blocking yourself. And the universe is, in a very gentle way, showing you what's in your way. And it could be issues with relationships. It could be issues with your own health and diet that need to be cleaned up before you can step into a greater version of yourself. Because essentially, that's all, usually that's what we're dealing with anyway when we're wanting to move forward in a direction and we're not able to move that in a direction, is that we're dealing with our own internal blocks. And these blocks we are many times unconscious around. So setting goals and intentions can be a way to bring the unconscious into the conscious, and to not be afraid that it's not working, but to say, okay, I need to roll up my sleeves and I need to take a new perspective and look at this in a deeper way. So clues to know that it is working. Sometimes we set an intention and we're really, really clear. It's just like we know this is going to happen. We have that feeling of certainty around it, right? There is absolutely no doubt in your mind. You own it. You have full ownership of what you are creating, and there's a high belief in the outcome, right? There's just no room for doubt. And some people talk about that inner knowing, as sort of the sixth sense of we just know this is going to happen for us. And there's a great joy connected to that place of just knowing. And the knowing is not in the mind, the knowing is in the body. So when we're looking at that sense of knowing, I call it on a cellular level, because it's almost like you get goosebumps on your skin, or that you can you feel it viscerally in your body, and it's not just in the head, it's in the heart, it's in the gut, it's in the cells. You feel it everywhere. You breathe it, right? And everything, all of your energy is moving in that direction to help you bring it. And usually when if we have all four of these elements involved, our intentions come through very, very quickly. So a few more tips as we're setting intentions. Trust the process with yourself, right? So it's setting the intention and trust that this is an actual real way to make things happen, the real way to bring things into our life. And sometimes it's hard for people that are a little more skeptical or scientific in their thinking, that they're like, well, this is a little, woo-woo, or, esoteric. There is an element of trust involved, absolutely. When you set your intention, release it out. How do you free it? Some people refer to it as like freeing the bird, letting the bird out of the cage. It's not trying to hold on and like white knuckle and grip our way to the end, right? It's think about what you want, think about it in your heart, set it into your heart, and then send it out, send it forth, so that it can, so that bird can fly out, create what you want, and bring it back to you. Trust divine timing is another one. Sometimes we have something that we want to happen, and there are reasons unknown to us of why it hasn't happened yet. And when it actually does happen, when it actually does come into play, we're like, oh, that's why. Sometimes it's meeting that special someone in our life when we're like, oh my gosh, I wasn't ready to meet you yet. And it all makes sense when it does come into play. And sometimes when we ask for things and it doesn't come through, it gives us time to really think about and have a little more time with getting clear on what that is that we're trying to bring into our life. There is, my viewpoint of the universe is that the universe is this great force of love that wants to give us whatever we want, and knows a lot more than we do, and guides us in the direction of that. And it's really about us being clear, opening up, and receiving that guidance so that we can move into the direction of our greatest good, so that we can move in the direction of what makes us express joy and feel really, really happy. And to not get upset or frustrated, but to sort of be in a place of inquiry when things aren't happening, so we can ask some questions around, you know, is this what I really want? Or what do I need to remove out of my way to make this happen? And now that some people talk about, they say, don't badger the universe, right? So it's like you ask for the new car. You're like, okay, I haven't got my new car yet. It's been 15 minutes. I haven't got my new car. And, you know, and again, it's trusting the divine timing, but it's not you know, bugging the universe of saying, you get it yet? Do you get it yet? That the universe has our back and is, you know, setting into motion the things in play that need to happen to allow us to make this happen in our lives. Is we don't want to bug the universe on it. The universe doesn't like to be bugged. And don't be fickle in your asking, right? Don't think about, well, I want this, well, maybe this would be better. Be really clear and set it out. And be really clear, and then don't change it midstream, because then we're actually canceling the order, right? So those are all tools. And this is something that, if you think about setting intentions, manifesting, doing visualization, these are practices, right? And we're going to have great success sometimes. We're not going to have such great success other times. Study and look at when you've had great success, what are the elements involved? And when we're working to create something that maybe it's our belief level that's not quite there, sometimes we just need to tweak our visualization, to work on removing the blocks, and to just to set it out there again, but to refine it and you know, get more clarity and more specific around what we're asking, right? So it's kind of going back to the drawing board again, and don't be afraid to represent the same idea on the table. And you know, I've heard of people talking about it's taken them, you know, many years to manifest something big in their life, and they had to keep asking, and they kept refining the way they asked. So don't be afraid to do that, and don't confuse that with badgering the universe. I think the badgering the universe is when there's impatience involved. I was reading somewhere, which is really interesting, when I think it was a Catherine Ponder, and she talks about when we, how did she say this? It's a bit about if you try to force the universe, try to force the process, or put impatience into the mix, the emotion of impatience, the results you get will not be very good. You'll be unhappy. You might get what you want, but you'll be unhappy with it if there's an element or the emotion of impatience put into your intention. So just be warned of that one, that you want to, what's the feeling around setting that intention? Are you joyful? Are you clear that this is what you want? Or if you're being impatient, ask why. You might need to look at, because impatience is a form of block. Why does it have to happen so quickly? Because that is the one thing you cannot control, is timing. If it happens quickly, that's great. But again, there's things that are not in our control, and there's things that are in our control. So pay attention and consciously create what's within your control, and let everything else go. Free the bird, let it go, release that. Be what we also call, like in Buddhism, detach from the result and allow the result. Because sometimes too, we have an idea of what we want something to look like, and the universe has a better idea for us. You know, and that can happen sometimes when we're saying, I need a new home, I want a place to live, I want it to look exactly like this. But as little humans, we put limitations on what's possible. And when we're setting intentions and visualizations, we're actually tapping into a limitless source of supply. And that limitless source of supply can see things way beyond what we can. And that's part of that trusting of, I'm going to let this go, and I'm going to ask for this idea or better. And when we release it, we allow something possibly even greater than we can ever imagine come in. And that's sort of that field of love, the field of possibility that people talk about. So tap into that. The 3-step recipe for a manifestation. Number 1 is set your intention, right? Which we've talked at great length about how to do that. The second piece of that is to give it in attention, right? So you're setting an intention and you give it energy and attention. So you're going to not just set it, but you're going to work with it. You might set down, okay, what's my steps to make this happen? You put your energy on it, you put your thoughts on it, and the third step of this is take action, right? We can't just say, I'm going to bring this new car into my life. We need to take steps and to say, how do I bring that car into my life? What do I need to do to actually allow this to manifest? I had this on here twice. So I wanted to actually bring in Sai Baba here, because Sai Baba is a master of manifestation, and he's one of those guys that he could probably skip step number 3, because he's so clear-headed that he can basically, they say that I've never met the man and I've never seen this happen, but the folklore around him is that he's able to bring things into the palm of his hand, like a photograph or a gold necklace, or he can manifest things at will. So unless you're Sai Baba, you have to have number 3. You have to take action. Moving on. One final tool I want to talk about, thinking in terms of manifestation, is that manifesting, visualization, all of those intentions are ancient tools, right? Ancient foundational tools. We live in a modern day with the internet, and we can take the ancient tools and mix them in with modern technology, and we have the internet at our fingertips. So it's, one final idea to marry this visualization intentions is, what's the possibility in your life of using the infinite resources of the internet to share your ideas, to build a business, and to create income. Empower Network offers a blog to connect your ideas to others, to market. It has marketing and educational resources and mindset development for entrepreneurs and online business professionals. So these are all tools and resources that you can use to say, all right, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to create, and I need to, there might be education or marketing elements and mindset development resources that you need to take action to bring what you want to create, what your ideas, and bring them out into the world. For more information on that, you can go back to the email source that I had, the original email, and you can get more information on Empower and kind of, give them another look to see if that's something that can actually help you to create what you want out in the world. So I just want to say thank you for your time today. I hope this was really helpful. I hope there's a lot of great ideas. If you have any questions or any comments, if this was really helpful to you, please email me, or you can leave comments in the comment section. And I hope you have a great day. So I'll talk to you soon. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.